Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys my priming technique. I've gotten a lot of questions about this. I use several different primers because I have a combination skin type. So I'm going to go over that with you guys, why I put things in certain places, the process of it, and then I'm going to talk to you guys about my favorite primers and just some suggestions, as well as what I like to do to set my face. I'm going to start off with a demo of like what I would do on a normal basis, and then I will talk about the primers right after. Before I start my priming routine, I always have my skincare sinking into my skin. So I do it, wait about 15 minutes, and then I will start my eyes and brows. This just allows the maximum amount of time for everything to sink in as much as possible, and then I already have my eyes and brows done. And then as you can see, I have a little bit of a sheen on my skin, so what I'm going to do is take a little sponge. You can use a tissue, anything you want that's going to be at least somewhat absorbent, and I'm just going to tap this over. I always start on my pores because that's where I'm the most concerned. I produce a lot of oil there, so I want to pick up anything extra. After there, my nose, chin, and then a little bit on the center of my forehead. I don't do it around the perimeter of my face, but just basically in the T-zone. Now I'm going to prime underneath my eyes. I do this before my facial primers just because if anything is right up here and I am tapping this underneath my eyes, it can kind of move what primers I've already put on my face. So I always prime my under eyes first. Today I'm going to use my Becca under eye anti-fatigue primer. I also like the Tatcha Pearl. I'm just using this one today because I want to. And I recently showed you guys how I apply the Tatcha Pearl, so just figured I would revisit this. I like to tap it in. I will kind of rub just a little bit and just keep pushing it into the skin. This has a slight cooling effect, but not right away. It takes it at least 5 minutes to be able to feel that, and that kind of depuffs, and then this really smooths out the under eye. If you are very dry underneath your eyes, this one, like I always wear an eye cream, but I like the Tatcha one better for when I'm really dehydrated or dry, crepey, anything like that. I find that one to work better than this one, but if my under eyes are pretty normal, then I like to go in with the Becca. I use several different primers on my face because I am combo. I get oily in my T-zone and I can be normal and dry everywhere else. Usually my dry spots will be around my mouth and my forehead. I'm pretty normal right now. I don't really have anything that I can really complain about, but I'm gonna start off with this guy. This is the MAC Skin Refine Zone. I've not used this a day since I got it, and it's been over 3 years I've been using, almost 4 years I've been using this product. I take a dot on both of my pores, and if I feel like my chin is a little bit more oily than normal, I will go in, and it has been because it's been warming up. Do not put this all over your face unless you are extremely oily, and I still wouldn't suggest that because you're going to go through it really quickly. If you want something for all over that's really going to work the same way that this does, the Armani Prima, I don't remember the name. I'll put it down below, but that one works really well. It's a bigger bottle and you can put it all over, but really it's designed for targeted areas just like this is. But this controls the oil, and this is a treatment, so it also keeps your pores nice and cleaned out. My skin is very sensitive, so you will see me putting on primers, my skin becomes red and then it calms back down. That always happens. I also find that putting this product down before my smoothing primers, it kind of helps it from balling up. A lot of times you get that balling effect because your moisturizer and your primer don't really like each other and then they kind of ball up. This being on my pores keeps any primer that I use for smoothing from balling up. And again, it just really helps to intensify the blockage of the oil from coming through. Now I'm going to go in with a primer that I'm going to use on the perimeter of my face. The reason why I'm doing this after the Skin Refine Zone is because I don't want any of this to be in my pores before the Skin Refine Zone. This one in particular, I can kind of do it before or after, but if I'm going to do it before my Skin Refine Zone, then I have to put this on with my skincare like right after and let it sink in and then blot it away as well. If I'm not going to blot this away, I'm not going to put it on first. I'm going to take 1 pump of this, and this is the Sisley Double Tenseur. I love this stuff. It's very high priced, but it really works for me. And I kind of work it on both my hands, and then I start to press, and it's kind of sticky. Not overwhelmingly so, but in a very good way that it's going to hold on your makeup and it makes your makeup look better. And it keeps your face nice and hydrated. This is like a skincare and primer in one. I do not rub this in. I just kind of, if you could see, it sticks to my face. I like to give that just a minute to set up and kind of sink into the skin. And then I will go in with my last primer that I like to use on my pores. This is the only place this goes, and this is the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. I take about this much and I'll go on both sides. That's enough to do both. And then I kind of press and rub it into this area right here. So in my nose, right here, and then press outward and just blend it out. I find that if I don't really press this into the skin and I just tap, then I can get those like little white dots that appear when you put your foundation on. It's not cute. Now I'm going to go off and do my makeup and I will be right back. Alright, so my makeup is now done and I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys about each of the primers that I like and why I would use them or who I would suggest them for. For the outside perimeter of my face, there's 3 that I love the most, so I'm going to start off with those. I always take into consideration how my skin is acting that day, how I want my skin to look when I'm done with my makeup, all of those things before I ever even go in with the primer. So I have 3. The first one is the Tatcha Silk Canvas. I like to use this on the perimeter of my face the same way that I will use the Sisley, but I kind of rub it in instead. I use this when I want to look a little bit smoother. So I have like small little acne scarring that you can kind of see when you're up close to my face. And this helps to really kind of smooth it out. This does not dry me out, so it's not going to make me look matte. It makes me look matter than what a hydrating primer would look, but it still doesn't dry me out, and that's why I love it so much, is that it's smooth, but it doesn't make me look cakey. If I want longevity out of my makeup, I want it to look better, I want to have hydration and all of that, I will use the one that I did today. So I wanted to be a little bit more glowy today. I didn't want to be matte. I didn't feel like I needed to really fill anything in or smooth anything out. So this is the one that I wanted to use. And I also know that I'm going to have this on at least 12 hours. And I'm not wearing a long wear foundation. So this one definitely helps to just adhere to it and make it look better. The one that I suggest to everybody, it's in my kit. I think just about anybody can wear this. It's from MAC. This is Natural Radiance. It doesn't really matter if you get the yellow or the pink. I just always get the yellow. This one hydrates and controls oil. So it's kind of like the Sisley without the stickiness, and it helps to control oil. Like there's not very many primers that will do both. So especially if you're a combo, you will love this. I take 1 pump of this, rub it all over, and it just prolongs my makeup and makes my skin look better, but it also is not going to make me oily, because a lot of times if you want to add in that hydration or any kind of luminosity, you're going to sacrifice the oil, and with this you don't have to. For honorable mentions for the perimeter of my face, I have 3 more. This one is from Fenty. This is the Pro Filter Primer. This one, if you are dry, you're probably not going to like this, but I don't feel like, again, I don't feel like this really dries out my skin or anything like that. It kind of does what the Tatcha does on a lesser level. So it's not as smoothing, and it's not as non-drying, but it's a great primer. I really love this with my dewy foundations. So something I don't want to really add any more hydration, but I want to add a little bit more smoothing and kind of just really perfect the skin first. I really enjoy this. I use this one all the time until I got the Sisley. This is the J1 Jelly Pack. This is more sticky than what the Sisley is, but this is way more affordable and you get quite a bit. You get 1.69 ounces in here, so you get quite a bit of product. You don't need much, and let me see, it comes with a pump and it's kind of like a gel. Now this one, work it into your hands like it's like glue. Can you guys hear that? You take it and you're going to tap it into the skin just like you would the Sisley, but this one is far more sticky. This really hydrates the skin and really improves longevity. This is probably the most long wear primer in the sense that it's going to hold on to my makeup better than any other one. So if like I really needed something that was going to not let go of the makeup, it's definitely this one. It says it's pore smoothing, but I don't agree. I have to go in with the pore filling primer even with this. And lastly, the L'Or from Gurlain. This is a lifting, tightening, whatever. I don't feel like I really feel that with this. I just like the primer. It makes my skin look good, and it has real gold flakes in there. It's kind of gimmicky, but it does work. I like the way that my makeup looks after I've used this. This is kind of like if you have normal dry combo, but I wouldn't suggest this to somebody who is really oily unless you're going to use something else to combat the oil. But I really do enjoy this. I'm halfway through. This is my second bottle, but ever since I got the Sisley, I haven't been using this as much, but it's still a really nice primer. I want to throw in one more. This is from Josie Maran. If you are dry, you are going to love this. It is a whipped kind of, I don't know, it looks kind of weird in here. You don't need much, and it gives you a glow, and it really moisturizes the skin. I don't know if you guys can see. Like, it has this like kind of like MAC strobe cream, but less intense. This just feels really nice. I don't feel like it really prolongs my makeup, but it makes it look better, especially if I've been having a dry day for some reason. This one's really nice. And let me tell you what it is. It's the Surreal Skin Argan Finishing Balm. Now for my pores, apart from using the Skin Refine Zone, there's two that I like to use for smoothing. I talked to you guys about the Tarte Timeless Smoothing. That's the one I use the most often. And then I also love the Milk Makeup Blur Stick. People either love this or hate it. I find it to work really, really well. I personally like to actually take this on my finger like this, get the product on, and then push it into the skin like I would the Timeless Smoothing. If you don't like anything that's really thick like that putty, you will like this. I think it does an amazing job. Another one that's really good is the Makeup Forever Skin Smoothing, like the Equalizer, but that is in my kit. I like to put my smoothing primers on last, because if I have that kind of putty like thing right here and then I go in with anything else on top of it other than foundation, it can kind of mess it up around the edges. You'll see it underneath your makeup. So I always suggest putting on the smoothing primers last. If you have issues with your nose and your makeup coming off, try the Skin Refine Zone. But if your nose is dry, don't do it. Don't do it, because it will catch and it will be like textured, because it holds on and controls oil. But if you feel like you're a slick, definitely try that. And then most of the time after I've done my makeup, I usually will use either a makeup setting spray or a finishing mist. And my favorite two for these setting sprays are this one right here, the Giorgio Armani Prima Refreshing Makeup Fix. I've talked about this to death. This for me lasts the best on my skin. Like, it actually works, but it doesn't dry out my skin. I don't know why, but this works phenomenally well. Recently, I haven't had to have my makeup last that long. That's why I haven't been reaching for this a ton, because I haven't been at work. I haven't had to really do any kind of hustling around. Usually I'm filming, and even if I wear my makeup all day, it doesn't matter. So I haven't really been trying to waste this, but this works better than anything else I've personally tried. Another setting spray that I love is this one from GlamGlow. I've gone through several of these. This is the GlowSetter Makeup Setting Spray. This is hydrating. It prolongs your makeup. It melts everything into your skin, and it's so nice. And it has like a perfect mister. Like, it's so light, and you can really just dust it on or pack it on. It's amazing. And then this is the one I've been using most recently, because again, I don't really need to set my makeup. And this is from Josie Maran again, and it's the Nirvana Hydrating Treatment Mist. Nice sprayer on this again. It's funny because I'm so used to these softer sprayers that when I go in with something like, I don't know, MAC Fix Plus or something even worse than that, which is not even bad, it's just I'm used to this Like it's so light that when I go in with one of those, I'm like, oh my God, I'm attacked. But this just really hydrates the skin. It melts everything in. It doesn't mess up my makeup. Like sometimes if I use a spray, it can mess up my makeup and make it look weird, like my pores look weird or something. But this one doesn't. It really hydrates. It looks nice. And you can put this on before the makeup as well if you need that extra little zhuzh. And that is it, you guys. If you have any questions, please ask me down below and I will try my best to get back to you. Let me know if you found this helpful at all, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.